The opinions expressed in the video you are about to see are solely those of BoatTest.com and its test captain.
Hi, Captain Steve for BoatTest.com, and today we're going to put the Regal 2500 through a full test and take a look at the features.
Our Regal 2500 was powered by a catalyzed 300 horsepower Volvo Penta 5.7 GI. With a test weight of just over 5,600 pounds, our Regal 2500 reached a top speed at 4850 RPM of 50.6 miles per hour. At that speed, we were burning 22.3 gallons per hour and getting 2.27 miles per gallon for a range of 139 miles. Best cruise came in at 3,000 RPM and 29.9 miles per hour. Now we were burning only 10.2 gallons per hour while getting 2.95 miles per gallon for a range of 180 miles. We reached planing speed in 4.2 seconds, passed 20 miles per hour in 7.3 seconds, 30 in 10.2 seconds, and accelerated past 40 miles per hour in 15 seconds.
The 2500 has a stepped hull. It's what Regal calls their fast track hull, and the purpose of that is to inject air underneath the hull to give you a slicker running surface and a better top end speed. I've seen some instances where that creates problems for turning performance, but not so with the 2500. When you put it into a performance turn, it comes up on bank and then starts coming back down just a little, and as it stabilizes into that bank, that's when it really digs in and cranks around like it's on rails. I also like how the helm gives you nice visibility through the windshield instead of staring right at the windshield frame, and when you're up on the bolster, of course, you're looking up and over. When you're doing your whole shot, the bow's going to come up about 5-7 degrees, and because it's so close to the helm, I didn't lose any visibility. Now, of course, with all the wake jumping that we were doing, we did manage to get some water on the windshield, but frankly, I had to work pretty hard to make it happen.
Now let's take a look at some of the features of the 2500. By removing the gas assist struts from the hatch and then removing the side panels, you'll have unobstructed access to the engine for maintenance.
Now, there's a couple of traits that Regal makes very interesting in the 2500. One of them is the standard fire suppression system. You don't usually see that in a boat this size unless it's on the options list. The battery is nice and secured, and by requirements, it's supposed to stay secured, and as I push on it, it doesn't move at all. And notice all the room on the sides of the engine. Frankly, I'd be laying milk crates back there and securing them with bungee cords to these side panels, filling it up with spare parts and just gear that I need to keep maintaining the engine properly. And the beauty of this hatch is that you don't need to have the engine hatch open to access the storage on either side. When it's closed, little gull-wing doors open. Now you've got easy access. Before we leave the stern, notice how Regal mounts trailer lights onto the stern of the boat. There's a plug at the bow of the boat that goes into the anchor locker, and the boat comes with a harness that will attach to your car so that you can activate these lights. Access the cockpit by stepping on the standard Flexi-Teak deck. Plenty of storage underneath the seats, room enough for a carry-on cooler, and you have access to the storage on the side of the engine box.
I found 3 feet 3 inches of space between the seats, making a comfortable area for conversation as well as comfort. There's an option for putting a side mount pedestal table on the aft bulkhead as well as the forward bulkhead. The bucket seats are wraparound with the lower back being opened for ventilation. The flip-up bolster showed no tendency to drop down when the boat started bouncing. A matching seat is to port. Here's a thoughtful touch. The tower lowers at the push of a button. Great feature for garage storage. I was happy to see that the panel included a standard depth gauge. In the center was a GPS map 640 with a touchscreen display. A stereo was mounted to the left of the wheel, and it included an iPod drawer behind the faceplate. The dual plexi walk-through windscreens are held open with magnets at the bottoms. As with everything else that opens on the 2500, the sole storage hatch is held up with a gas assist strut. The compartment easily swallows your skis and wakeboards. I'd like to see a hole cut in the snap-in carpet to access the latch without having to lift the carpet. The head is a bit cramped, as usual in a boat this size. With 44 inches of overhead, you're going to want to make sure that the boat is stopped before using the head. High marks to Regal for the comfortable bow seats. They're contoured and feature pull-up armrests. The grab handle is far back next to your body. I'd like to see grab handles mounted along the cap rail. The hatch to the anchor locker is small, possibly too small, but the compartment itself is very deep and self-draining.
That's our look at the performance and handling and the layout of the Regal 2500. For BoatTest.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.